Hi, everybody. I'm Amanda.
And I'm RJ.
And the kids are gone. To bed, at least.
They're still... They're that way. But they're here.
So...
Welcome to Quarantine Edition.
Yay!
Yay! Hooray! We haven't killed anybody yet. So
Not
it's
yet.
Positive.
Not yet.
It's a very positive thing.
Not yet.
Mm-hmm. Yet. Time's still there.
I mean, you know.
We still got some time.
Anywho, so, yeah, I'm sure, like us, a lot of you are going crazy. You know, so much fun with the
Impending doom and self-quarantining and at home.
Everything.
Yay.
So that being said...
You know what? No, I'm being positive this episode. Other than probably I may cry. I'm sorry ahead of time. But I'm trying to be positive about this. Because we're happy. We have each other. My kids are healthy. There's so much that could have gone wrong with this thing. That, I mean, who knows what tomorrow is, but I know for right now, our family's good. So I'm happy. But it's
I got a haircut from my favorite hairstylist over here. First time cutting my hair, and look how good he did.
Picking up all new skill sets.
Short hair don't care. Hey.
Hey. Hey, girl, hey. But no, do you feel like... I think we've done so much better since we've been in quarantine. When we first started quarantine to where we are now, I think we've gotten much better. I mean, it was scary. It's still scary. Total honesty. But from where we started trying to pretend like this thing doesn't exist to the acceptance and the fear that it does exist, and holy shit, this is going to get real fast. So now this is just the world that we're in. And this is how we navigate it together. I think we've made that transition really well. All things considered.
Yeah. I mean, outside of the you know, crippling social anxiety.
Which, you can attest to this. I never experienced that before this. I loved being among people. Like, it is where I got my life for a lot of parts. Being among crowds and seeing just the joy on people's faces. Now, I went from that to, again, talking about this being in 3 phases. That was me then. Me in the middle of this. I don't want to go nowhere. I don't want to touch nobody. I don't want to see nobody. Everything's pick up and order, contactless delivery, get me away from all humans. And the funny thing about that is that I work in retail. But now, on the end of that, I mean, we still have to take precautions, especially now with medical and everything, making sure that we're right about this.
Yeah.
But me being excited about what this could be moving forward. Like, I know we talked about this a little bit, but I'm super excited about the idea of sneeze guards at movie theaters. I want that. Because I am such a movie head. I love going to the movies. I love the movie experience.
Which, okay, here's my only thing. As someone who has dealt with social anxiety for her entire, well, not entire life, but a good portion of my adult life, that's great for someone like you who can go to the movies by themselves. But what if we go together?
Yeah.
There will be a guard between us.
And
I won't be able to hold your hand if I start panicking.
That's very true. Yeah. I never thought about it that way. I mean, it's just, this rate is just adapting to the new normal. You know, what does that look like?
Honestly, I think that if they wanted to do it right, considering they've already started it and showed that it can work, I think, and this may be a detriment to people like you who actually like going to movie theaters, but I think the new normal for movies is going to be on-demand releases instead of theater releases.
I want to see what the first big release looks like when that happens. I think what's going to give us a lot, and I may have this answer by the time this is released. I want to see the numbers that Hamilton does when they release it July 3rd on Disney Plus. Mm-hmm. If those streams are what I think they'll be, then yes. Because I think, based on...
Oh, I know. I'm watching it.
Yeah.
Hate to give in to corporations, but...
And that's my favorite. And it's Disney. I heart the mouse.
Yes, you do. You very much heart the mouse.
I'll fight anybody.
I know you will. But at the same time, they're the Empire.
They are. They absolutely are. Mickey's Darth Vader. And that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. No, it's just... And a lot of my love for the company comes from the parks. Mm-hmm. Which I got a chance to watch them reopening Shanghai Disney, so I'm kind of curious to see how that works. There are very few companies that make you feel a nostalgia, or who have built their brand so much on nostalgia, but have actually backed up that nostalgia. They're not like Dell, where people buy Dell computers now, they're entry levels, because their name is Dell. Mm-hmm. I've had a Dell for years, when realistically... questionable builds.
You're gonna get us sued.
Questionable. I love the G7 series. All your G series, phenomenal. Your entries, maybe.
Most entry-level computers, though, are...
This is very true. And they're built more for cost.
The reason that they're entry-level.
Yeah, that's very true. They're built more for cost. But to see a company who they build their entire brand on not only the family experience, but that your grandparents watched Disney, your parents watched Disney, you watched it, now your kids will watch it, because you can all share in that same experiences. Mm-hmm. I don't think anybody else really has that, except for maybe like Swiss Miss.
Fucking Swiss Miss. Not sponsored by any, by the way.
Not at all. I love Swiss Miss. Love them. Delicious. Anyway.
Anyway.
First topic.
Well, we kind of already covered.
Oh, yeah. We already got it. Yeah, I forgot that was part of it. Yeah.
First topic was how has quarantine made you look at life differently?
Yeah. That's it.
The only thing that I would add to that really is that I, as someone with social anxiety going into this and how much worse it's gotten with this, I'm not going to be comfortable going anywhere until there is a viable vaccine.
All right.
And I can get it, and all of my kids can get it, and I don't care. Anti-vaxxers can kiss my ass.
Not only that, why would you want to... Now, mind you, I wanted to go through trials, and I wanted to see it in action before we give it to the kids. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to put them in any unnecessary danger. But one, I understand.
That's why I said viable vaccine.
Yeah. One, I totally understand your point. And with anything major, as far as like amusement parks or large social gatherings, I'm with you. I'm not doing any of those. Like, especially not with the kids. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna suck, and I don't really know what that becomes when this is over. You know, like, are we... I had a really hard thought yesterday, and honestly made me start breathing kind of funny. What does this do to our kids when this is over?
What do you mean?
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Our two oldest, because of social media and because of other ways, have been able to stay connected to their friends and talk. But our youngest was just starting to build social skills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what happens if, let's say, worst case scenario, which has already been tossed around in our state, this goes into next school year? There's a possibility that they could not go to school next year. Or at least not part of the year.
Yeah. I mean, that's where it's been a blessing to have his teacher.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then I guess the next thing, which we kind of touched on, but what moving forward are the things that you're most afraid of and most hopeful for?
Most afraid of is my kids getting back into public. That's especially our youngest. Just because he hasn't had them recently. Like, we haven't had to do anything with him breathing wise in a really long time. But it's still there.
Yeah.
That's what gives me pause. If I had the option,
Him and Sissy.
if I thought for a second I could still get paid close to what I make now,
And work from home.
I would do it in a heartbeat. Or not go to work, or have you not go to work and still make what you make now because we got to take care of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
I would do that in a heartbeat. I wouldn't even hesitate.
Yeah.
So that's above all else. Damn mean, we'll figure us out. We've had social contact up to this point. Odds are we probably danced with the devil with the same probably already. But the kids haven't.
Yeah.
We've been very good at keeping them at very limited interaction with anything outside.
Making sure that we're sanitizing and washing our hands and everything before we touch them or before we come home, when we get home.
Like, we've been very
changing as soon as we get home.
Yeah.
To try to limit that exposure.
And ourselves being really good about social distancing while we're out to limit even the opportunity of that occurring. Like, I can't remember the last time I hugged somebody besides you guys.
Oh no, everybody that I normally hug at work, it's just air hugs. I'm such a moron, I love you.
Thank you. I can't change, so I appreciate that. Things I'm most hopeful for, and despite what you may see on the news, I'm most hopeful for the fact that you genuinely see people out here taking care of each other.
Yes.
Like, it's... Shout out to SGN, too. Side note. Some good news. Krasinski, you guys... Your 8-episode run, which I know is coming to an end soon, was... above all else, right on time.
I really hope you keep it going after.
Yeah, what was right on time. Right on time. Because there's so much negativity in media. And we were talking about this the other day. I understand it's to sell. The good stories are awesome, but they realistically don't move the needle. You incite curiosity through fear. I get that. But one of the best things I think that social media does is that it gives you a glimpse of, despite whatever the TV is forcing you to watch, you don't have to watch that. You got other options.
Unless you get yourself trapped into an echo chamber of nothing but negativity.
Yeah, which at that point, I don't know how you live. Like, there's... if we didn't have the positive programming and stuff that we've been watching now, like... filtered in with some, I would have lost it by now. Hell, I got close to losing it already with the positive stuff that we've been watching.
But if all we saw was negativity,
man, bro, like, I've had to step away from like what's going on in politics and stuff. I mean, keeping close enough so that way, if anything really pops off, we're informed. But I had to step away from just the nonsense. Like, to hear that 80,000 people isn't that bad is bananas. It's 80,000 people not going home.
That's got to be the one thing that upsets me the most about all of this is people who are not personally affected by this saying and Scott, if you listen to this, this is not specifically about you, because I know you were just trying to help me because I was freaking out. So if you do listen to this, I love you, and this has nothing to do with you. It's other people who aren't as loving and caring and amazing as you are.
You know what you are. This is not even...
But there are other people that use the same line of, well, it's only whatever percent.
Mm-hmm.
It's only, 2-3%. It's only 10%, whatever the percentage is at the time of people who are actually dying from this. That's still thousands of people.
Yeah, who aren't going home. Who, like it... What drives me crazy, and what has drove me crazy, these are the same people who are pro-life to the max and are Christians.
Again, Scott,
Again,
love you.
yeah.
I'm not talking about you.
I'm
talking about the hypocrites.
I'm bypassing that. Scott, you are one of my favorite people in the world. You know this. It's nothing to do with you whatsoever. I wasn't even thinking about that until she said that. But to have those same people then come and say stuff that, like,
well, I mean, it's old people. They've lived a good life. They can die.
yeah. Or, we need to get this economy going. It doesn't matter how. Bro, when has the economy ever helped you? Like, stop.
Sorry, you're peeking on me.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. I just wanted to turn it down some.
Like, this has never, ever helped you. Like, I've seen people who are poor, who barely have enough money getting by, to then tell me, or then to say on a camera, that we gotta get the economy going. What does that do for you? Now, if you're a small business owner, I get it. Always understood it. Always made sense. That's how you're feeding your family. I get that. So for you to feel some type of way and wanting to get this open, because you're like, look, my family's about to starve either way, so I gotta do this. That makes sense. Totally understand that.
See, and I have mixed feelings about that. Because on the one hand, I've known small business owners who are worse than their corporate counterparts.
True.
They're more tyrannical.
Yeah.
And just not, and they don't have the best working conditions for their employees and stuff like that. So it actually can be pretty terrible. But at the same time, for like family-owned places, like certain restaurants around where we live, we actually worked with someone whose family owns a restaurant for things like that, where it's mostly family-owned and run. That's them owning the means of production.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It might still technically be private, but at the same time, they're citizens and they're doing it themselves.
Yeah.
And knowing the people that I've worked with who are the family members of the people who own that restaurant, they're amazing people. And they will help you out if you ever need it. So that's where it's kind of like a catch-22 for me, because I've known both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah. I get that. I get that entirely. I just, other than those people, why?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand it.
Right. Because even for like the middle to lower class people, it's mostly middle class people that you actually see out there.
Yeah.
That are they need to go to get their hair done.
The salon thing,
I know,
drove me.
It is. That's like the one thing that people harp on the most. It seems like, because that's the most ridiculous thing.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever
Reason.
seen.
Now I know that there are people out there at the liberate whatever state they're trying to liberate rallies that are small business owners that can't stay open without, like, can't pay their employees without staying open, or whatever, who just aren't understanding how bad the economy could get if we open too soon. They don't.
Like, they don't.
They're
get it.
not thinking that far ahead, and they're not listening to the people who are thinking that far ahead, who are in charge, like Dr. Fauci.
That poor man.
I know.
That man should. When this is all over with, if he leaves the country, it's you guys' fault. 100% honest.
We will lose. Okay. Please bear this in mind. If anyone who is doing all this bullshit, pushing for an early opening, a too early opening, especially if your state doesn't have that decline that they're looking for in cases. If you're one of those fuckers, and we lose Dr. Fauci because of you, because he has lost faith in the people in our country, you pushed out the one person who actually told the truth while still being in a committee that worked directly with President Orangeface and was able to tell him, no, you're being a fucking idiot, and not get disappeared. You got rid of the one man who was willing to say no to that megalomaniac.
She ain't lying. It's the truth.
Please take this to heart.
They won't. And it's sad, but it's not surprising. Because unfortunately, people like that, they can't see in front of their face until it's too late. And they're the ones who... this is how movies mimic real life. Those are the people who stay in their houses during like those horror like tornado films. Like, I don't need to leave, it'll be fine. It's gonna pass right by us.
Or more aptly, they're that one general that pushes for war in an apocalypse movie.
Mm-hmm.
That like gets just enough people behind them to overthrow the good guy in that movie, and then they end up going out there and dying and getting millions of people killed because they were reactionary.
It's just leadership 101. What's good now? What's good for me later? Now, I could go down the whole conspiracy route. The only reason this is being allowed is because disproportionately it's affecting poor people and people of color because of lack of ability to get to medical care or lack of ability of knowing that medical care is out there and that it's treatable. It's in urban areas. That's an easy scapegoat. What I've come to notice, and it's sad to think this, is that the President of the United States does not care about anyone. If you can't forward his agenda, if you are not speaking in a way that he finds to be positive.
I don't even think it has anything to do with an agenda.
He's his agenda.
But the agenda makes it sound like he actually has a plan.
Oh, no.
He doesn't. He doesn't have a plan. He doesn't have anything past get reelected. That's his only plan.
Which is funny because after he gets reelected, then what's next?
What the fuck are you gonna do?
You're gonna go through another 4 years of this? Bro, you were better off when you weren't president.
Seriously. And then on top of that, I thought I had a train of thought and I lost it. No, okay. So it's not agenda. It's anyone who's not a yes man.
Yes. That's a better way of putting it.
The only person he has not been able to get rid of that's not a yes man is Fauci.
Yeah.
Everyone else, go back and rewatch all of his Corona task force briefings.
Please don't.
From the beginning, and watch how many people that contradicted him have left that stage.
Don't do it.
The
It'll freak-
only person. I'm not saying, like, pay attention to what he's saying. I'm just saying, like, look at who's on the stage, real quick. There have been people. I mean, he's done this throughout his entire presidency. If somebody didn't toe the line,
You gotta
wasn't
get
a yes man, they got fired.
You gotta get out.
If they couldn't spin what he fucked up in saying, they got fired.
You gotta get out. Nothing he does surprises me anymore.
He's he has had the highest turnover rate of any president.
Yeah. Like, I can't wait to see what history says about him years from now. Because, you know, when presidents get further along, they sometimes get a revisionist history.
Oh, all of them do.
Yeah, whether it be a horrible one, a great one, or somewhere in between.
Every single one of them, because it's the guy that comes after them that writes that history.
I think this will be the exception. Because though he's in and he's trying everything in his power to make it seem like the Obama presidency was the worst presidency of all time, the majority of people are like, nah, it wasn't. You are, and this is why. So I find it curious to see when this is all said and done, who writes his story. Hamilton. I know. That would be one of those things where it's like, somebody brought up on Twitter the other day, where is his presidential library? And I was like,
I don't have a library.
he's going to have to.
You got Twitter.
All presidents have to have a library.
Excuse me.
And he's going to want his huge and in gold and ridiculously obscene. And it's going to be a Trump Tower. It's probably going to have a hotel attached to it where you can stay and visit. Like, he's going to have a monument. You know he's going to want a monument.
Oh, it's going to have a huge statue of himself.
Absolutely, 110%. With like an eagle and the flag behind it. It's gaudy and unnecessary. Like, it's so funny. Okay, and I know we're going off topic, so I apologize. Have you been reading on Twitter about this stupid Obamagate thing?
No.
I've
I've been off Twitter for a couple days.
When you get a chance, read into this stupidity. So, let me get this right. They're basically saying that everything was going on with Flynn, when that whole thing with Flynn was going down. He went to jail and now he's out and everything. They're saying that President Obama was behind that. When this man has wanted nothing to do with politics until stupid ass showed up. And even then, it's been on a very limited basis. How are you going to say that a former president has more power than a sitting president does? That either means one of two things. Either Obama's rawer than I gave him credit for, which, all things considered, he could be. Or you're dumber than what you think you are. Because you're allowing a president who's not in power anymore to have more power than you do. That's stupid. You're the most powerful man in the free world. Well, you're the puppet for whoever's running you. Who's telling you what it's supposed to be. Why that popped up to me, what made me laugh about it, is he had one of his COVID-19 briefings. And somebody asked him, well, what crime are you accusing him of? You know, you're just not writing it. What does that even mean? Like, how is that a thought? Like, I have to laugh and keep from crying.
I'm probably going to get a lot of shit for this. Because I've seen it a lot on Twitter lately where people are basically assuming that when somebody says that he has a mental illness, they're meaning it in a derogatory way. I am not. I'm not saying it derogatorily. I honestly believe he has some sort of mental illness and somebody really needs to care for him enough to commit him.
But see, the only problem is that he's so stubborn. There's no
You can
way
involuntarily commit someone.
you're not gonna involuntarily commit a president. You,
But that's why I'm saying somebody needs to actually give a shit about him enough.
mm-hmm.
There's got to be someone in his life that actually loves him enough to do that. Because he clearly has some sort of mental illness that causes him to be a danger to himself or others.
There, I don't want to say that because there could be. I don't want to completely disrespect the idea that somebody doesn't love him that much. But in my head, the only thing that makes any sense is that those around him would be fine whether or not he was here or not.
He really does need help, and I'm saying that as a fellow human being, especially as a fellow human being who does suffer from mental illnesses, anxiety and depression being the most prominent of the ones that I suffer from. He needs help.
Yeah.
There's probably medication he needs to be on. He definitely needs therapy. But he's too stubborn and no one has ever told him so.
I'm sure people have tried. Whether or not he's listened. Like, no one's forced him to take those
Exactly.
steps.
Someone needs to love him enough to force him to take those steps to get help.
Ain't gonna happen. On a positive note, the things I'm excited about.
Yeah.
The things I'm excited about are... Nope, that's not gonna happen.
What? You're crying?
Mm-mm.
You crying?
No.
You crying?
I am not.
Squirting a little there? Little.
Beast about mine. I ain't crying.
There's nothing wrong with crying.
I know. I can lean into it if I need to. I just don't want to. I just don't want to.
Okay. So what were you going to say? What are you excited about?
Shit. I am most excited, and one of the things that's made me happiest about this time is I want to go see my family. Mm-hmm. I miss my mother. I miss my father. I miss my brothers.
They're going to text you and call you all sorts of names.
Oh, I know.
Derogatory terms.
I know, especially.
Right.
That's why you think I didn't want to cry. Because if I started crying, you'd crying for it. But this has made me very nostalgic for home.
Yeah.
In a weird way. Like, this is the longest I've gone without going back, at least for a little while.
Yeah.
And starting to wear a little bit. You know, though I've loved spending this time with you guys. And you guys are home. But my heart has always been with you and our family. My head, on the occasion, drifts back to home. Like to be next to the water and go to In-N-Out. And see my family and spend time with them. So, very excited with when this is over and done with. I'd love to take that trip. Now, post how this works, we're probably driving. Which, Lord, we're going to have to get an RV or something and figure out how that's going to work.
Right.
Sweet.
You'd have to get an RV and even if it's just like a trailer, get you a truck, get a trailer RV, and freaking take a month
Yeah.
off at a time.
It's going to be at least 4 weeks. That's what I'm most excited about. What are you most excited about?
I am most excited about... I don't even know. honestly, I'm so caught up in how things are right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying not to think about what the future is going to bring because it could go so many different ways, and I want to be ready to change with it.
I will say this though, and it's just an add-on. I'm also excited about where we'll be when this is over and done with. You and I are trying to lose weight now and trying to live life better, and
As we sit here eating ice cream.
yeah, well, we've been really good.
We have.
We've been very
You've
good.
lost 4 pounds. I haven't gained or lost.
But hey,
But you know, that's actually really good for me.
mm-hmm.
Because normally I just gain. Like, it takes me a while to actually lose that first pound. So the fact that I've stayed, like I've plateaued, means that I'm doing something correctly and I should start going down soon.
No, we're making better choices. Despite, which is crazy because whenever you have stressful times like these, generally you make worse choices.
Which we did at first.
Yes. God, yes. Ugh.
God knows at first we were eating way too many sweets and way too much fatty stuff.
Just to try and cope.
Way too much bread on my part. Just all the bread.
Yeah. Got you guys loaves of like the artisan breads and
I was making bread just to have bread to eat. Not even for sandwiches, just literally eating a slice of bread.
I mean, it's a good skill to have, but it's not the way we were doing it.
Yeah.
But no, I'm very excited to see with us continuing down this road what it turns into for us. I'm very excited about that because I think when this is all said and done, I think we become a lot better off than what we were when we first started.
Yeah. I am excited by the idea of more people taking care of each other for no reason other than just love for humanity. And I'm hopeful that that will continue even after we reopen, even with the people who are not being the kindest. There are so many more people who are helping people out, who are, whether that's, I mean, everybody points out like the people that are making masks, but that's a huge thing. But on top of that, like there's a person that we work with who is saving back money in case anybody needs help paying their rent or, you know, that kind of thing. And that's just freaking amazing. And seeing how many different mutual aid orgs have popped up all over the country and all over the world is incredible. And I'm really hopeful that that will take off, like continue after everything's reopened and not die out just because it's not quote unquote needed. Like you can't see that it's needed as much. It's still going to be needed.
Because there are always going to be people who need help.
But it's not going to be as visible.
Yeah. Next topic.
Next topic. And this one I have no freaking clue.
That's my Free Willy noise. I don't even want to look at you. Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
Good. Next topic.
What is your favorite movie and how do you feel it reflects you? So, what is your favorite movie and how do you feel it reflects you?
That's a tough question. It's a really tough question. My favorite movie is The Empire Strikes Back. Always has been.
Because you're a Sith.
Always will be. How it reflects me is probably more psychosomatic than I want to believe. The idea of the reveal between Luke and Vader.
Mm-hmm.
I have always had a hard time. This episode's gonna fucking make me cry. I can tell. That started early, and this is gonna get into this. It's
Well,
stupid. The movie's great.
You picked the topics,
I
bro.
know. I thought I got it out in the shower. Um, to watch Luke come to grips with who his father was something that I've struggled with pretty much my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
My biological father, trying to figure out if he was like that, what am I?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know you're not your parents, but you're part of your genetics is them. My face, though I believe I have a lot of my mother's characteristics, if you look at pictures of us, we look similar. I have his namesake, despite the fact that I avoided it at all costs. So, to see someone on screen, especially for when I saw Star Wars, because I didn't see Star Wars until I was like 10 or 11. So to be going through that when at that time I didn't have the same relationship with my stepdad that I do now. So to be going through that, plus seeing him go through that realization of, damn, that's my dad.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Like it speaks to you on such a outside of the fact that the movie's just phenomenal. It's the reason why it's on most people's top 10 movies of all time. It's a beautiful piece. It's a beautiful piece of work. But personally, when you ask why you think it reflects you, I can see a lot of myself in that moment with those two.
Mm-hmm. Quick side note for anyone watching. I'm so sorry to keep coughing. I'm going to cut most of them out, but I know there's going to be a few that I can't. Just so you know, we're all good here.
Allergies.
No coronavirus. I just have a really severe reaction to seasonal allergies that causes me to have asthma-like symptoms. So, we're cool.
Yeah, no worries.
All good. No one dying. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So that's...
So you don't cry.
Thank you.
Because I know you don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to. No desire.
I mean, it's completely fine if you do, but...
I know. I
I know
appreciate
you
it.
don't want to.
I don't. Mm-hmm. Crying's stupid.
Yes.
So stupid. She's dumb.
Yeah.
So, what are your favorite movies? Because I know you have multiple.
Yeah, I don't have one specific favorite movie. One of my favorite movies would probably be for Vendetta, which, if you know me, shouldn't surprise you. All about, tearing down the establishment and shit.
Fucking rebel.
I know that there's, other stuff in there with, a kind of a love thing with V and Evie, but...
It's more of a self-discovery story.
Yeah. It's more of a self-discovery story plus kind of an awakening for Evie.
Mm.
I very much identify with her, especially right now, because even though I've always known that the system is not fair, there was a long time that I would have argued with anyone that the system we have would be better than communism or anything like that, but that's because I didn't know. I thought what every other American thinks, that communism is Russia and China and those types of places where they call themselves communist, but it's not. It's just not.
Basically
Do research if you have any questions. Anyway, So that one's definitely one of them. And funny thing, viewers, our daughter was actually born on November 5th.
Remember. 5th of November.
And the hilarious thing is when I was pregnant with her, because she was due on the 5th, I was like, it would be really freaking cool, because I was watching V for Vendetta at the time. It would be really cool if she was actually born on her due date. And she was. So she's my little Guy Fawkes baby. Too bad she's probably the most capitalist out of...
For now.
For now.
For now.
She'll learn.
Well, or she'll...
She'll learn.
Yeah.
Both us and her father are poor as hell, so. Anyway, other than that, I mean, most of my favorite movies are nostalgia based. Like, I love all, including the third one, Fight Me, of the Back to the Future trilogy.
Oh god, the third one was so bad though.
It was, but oh my god.
It's so bad.
So bad, but so good.
It's so bad.
So good. And how bad it is. But that was probably the first movie franchise that I remember having an emotional attachment to, because someone in my family introduced it to me. Because every time that my brother and I would spend the night at our grandparents' house, we would watch at least the first one, if not all three of them, with our grandfather.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah. Gosh, I can't even think. Well, if anything scary, I like It. But yeah, I don't know. I can't really think of any others.
No, with V for Vendetta, it makes sense, though, especially for who you're becoming. Mm-hmm. I always said, when you put it all together, that's why I gotta get in your good graces now. So that when you put it all together, it's gonna be magical. Like, you're already one of the best women I know, and it's really not even close. When you figure out who you are and what you can do, there ain't gonna be a person in the world who can stop you. You're just gonna sit back and enjoy the show and be like, ah.
No, you won't. You will be fighting me tooth and nail the whole fucking time.
Sure.
Because the way I'm going...
I know. I'm gonna be like, can you just stay home? You don't need to go to another rally. Stop hosting rallies. You don't like people, remember?
I like people. I don't like crowds. There's a difference. I like human beings. I don't like assholes.
Unfortunately, they all look alike.
Yes. Yes, they do.
Last topic.
So, last topic. What is the best and the worst thing that you have encountered during the quarantine?
Oh. So the best thing I have encountered.
Personally. Not like on social media.
I have found again my love for cooking.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
It was lost for a while.
I'm just saying. I know some people are like, the sexiest man is a handyman. No, the sexiest man is a man who can cook.
I'm okay.
He's good.
I'm alright.
He's good.
I didn't realize how much I missed it until I got back into it. We've been able to do some pretty cool things.
And healthy, too.
And healthy things.
You've been doing really well, because normally, like, how you cook, because you usually cook for comfort, is, like, you know...
Paula Deen.
Yeah.
Butter on top of butter on top of butter on top of butter. Jesus Christ.
That, or, like, just, like, a lot of red meat, a lot of seasoning, like
salts.
salts. Yeah, way too much sodium, way too much fat, way too much cholesterol. So much butter. A lot of hours. Don't make me laugh. It makes me cough.
I'm sorry.
But you've been experimenting with different, like, healthier options, like whole grains and
Vegetables and
veggies, fruits. Oh my God, he made this amazing sauce with
pineapple and apple,
pineapple, apple,
cayenne pepper,
cranberry juice,
onion, brown sugar. It was
red pepper flakes,
It was
other stuff. I can't remember what all he put in it, but oh my goodness.
I mixed it in with a vegetable medley that had spinach, green bell pepper, and I forgot what else was in there. But I mixed it in with that and let it sit. Ooh, babe.
Oh my goodness.
It was good.
That might not sound appetizing, but you mix that all together and then put it inside of an omelet. Baby.
It was good. I was scared at first because it's something I never tried before, and it was all on a whim. Like there was no recipe. It was this will go with this. This sounds good with this. This is missing something. What's it missing? Let's do this.
And it was so amazing watching you do that too. And like having me taste it and being like, what is this missing? And being able to bounce stuff off of you. And then just whenever it clicked, you would be like talking like, this is how it would go. Basically, I'm him. So he would be, it's missing something. I know it's missing something. It needs something. And then he'd just stop talking and turn and go grab the thing or look for the thing that it was missing and then turn back around.
I hate that that's how I think. Like, I've always been like that, where it's, I'll be in it with somebody and then it'll click and I'll be like, all right, I gotta go do whatever that thing was. Like, let's go get that knocked out. But and not only that, but to watch it now feed into our kids. To watch our oldest now be excited about it. And,
oh my gosh, yes.
And wanting to get into it and figure out how that works. And our middle child, she already has a love for it. So to see her
really get into it
is it's pretty cool to see. So hopefully we can get these good habits in now. So that way it's just something that they grow up with versus something they have to learn later.
Yes.
So that's probably been the best part for me. Outside of spending the time. Like, I mean, would I like to be able to spend the time with you guys like this under better circumstances? Yes. But I've enjoyed being able to have this much time together. To really make those emotional deposits. You know? Where when this does get back to normal and you and I are working 40 plus again, and we don't have the same amount of time, we can think about this and be like, you know what? We got that time though. We built those bridges then. So that's probably the best part. What's the best part for you?
Honestly, probably same thing.
Yeah.
Being able to spend the time, but not just cooking. Well, I guess your thing was finding your thing, but the time spent is mine. Because with the cooking and like we did a chopped thing with the kids where
that was awesome.
they both pretty much made the exact same thing and had
Different
very
variations.
little creativity to it.
But they had a blast.
But they did. They had a blast. It wasn't horrible.
Well, great.
It wasn't horrible.
But they're learning.
Exactly. They're learning. It was at least edible. It was... on top of that, we've been playing more games with them. Board games.
I love that we have family game night.
Uno, that kind of thing. We've been trying to do that at least once a week, and it's been amazing. And then on top of that, I know that we're both worried about certain aspects of the youngest's development. But on medium to good days, his communication
Oh, it's gotten so much better.
and the way we have learned to handle that, having to be his primary teachers right now, and not having the in-person help from his teachers and his therapists, and learning how we can communicate with him to get our points across has been amazing. And how well he started doing that, going from throwing a fit every time he had to go to bed to now just from changing it up slightly.
It being a lot more pleasant of an experience. Yeah, because now he knows what we're getting him to anticipate it and to know that it's coming, and so that way he can prep himself for it versus just springing it on him and he's like,
And then outside of our family, on a personal level, but outside of our family, and then on a broader level, one of the best things that I've seen personally was I was at work, and one of the customers that I helped on our roadside or our curbside gave us a 12-pack of seltzer water for the team.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's super cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, we can't touch it for a few days for like sanitary reasons, but
yeah. That's still super cool though.
it was really cool. Really, really cool. She just, oh, by the way, this is for you guys, for the team. Oh, thanks.
Appreciate it.
And then on just like a broader level, just seeing how everyone is coming together to help each other out and to keep everyone positive. And if you need something, you can know who you can go to. Or if you don't know who you can go to, you can find out who to go to real quick. And it's amazing to see everyone kind of banding together in a time that we can't physically be together.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't want to talk about the negative. We already talked about the negative enough on the first topic. I think we should finish there.
Okay.
Because I like talking about the good stuff. Guys, there's more good than bad out there.
That is a huge thing. That is probably the biggest thing that I have to keep reminding myself every day is what you said earlier, the negative sells. You know, so of course that's what you're going to see on the news and what you're going to see people complaining about on social media. But if you look around, you can see that that's just because it'll get a reaction. You only see so much reaction from the good things that happen. And it's usually, oh, this is really cool. This person is doing this. And then it passes over. Don't let it pass over.
Yeah.
Focus on the good. Focus on the good things that people are doing. Or you'll lose hope.
One of the things that's helped me out over the last couple of days, and it's not a sponsorship or whatever, but it's absolutely fantastic, is the Calm app. If you haven't downloaded yet, or if you're into that kind of thing.
Or any sort of like mindfulness meditation, even if you don't want to do that.
Because it's been, to be able to step outside for a second and realize that, you know what? This is not as bad as you're afraid it is. This could be... There are people whose lives are so much worse. And I know you're not supposed to do that all the time. You're supposed to be mindful of who you are. But your life isn't as bad as you think it is. Like, it isn't. Could it be better? Sure, but define what better is.
Does it suck right now? Yes.
Yeah. But it also is really good, too. Like,
There are opportunities that people have right now. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that there are places that people aren't getting paid and they're having difficult time getting, like, unemployment and whatnot. But look around, do research. You can find places that can help you. There are people out there and organizations out there that are specifically for helping people in times of financial, like, trouble. If you need food, there are food banks. You may even have, like, a local Food Not Bombs in your area that you can get supplies from. You can let them know what you need. They're a mutual aid organization. If they can, they will hook you up with
what they can,
anything that they can. Or if they can't, they specifically can't help you with your needs, they can let you know where to go. So I know it seems like it. I know it sucks right now.
But you're not alone.
You're not.
You're not alone. The saddest thing that I see and what I've seen is that people feel like this is isolating everyone. And in ways, I understand that. But just think about what this... I mean, this isn't everything. This will never replace a hug. This will never replace a gentle caress. This will never replace someone playfully tapping you on the shoulder. But in moments of need, lean into messages like this. Feed off of them. Allow them to motivate you. Because we're in this. I know this is such a cliche line and I hate saying this. But it makes sense. We're in this together.
Don't let that become a cliche.
I like that. Because it shouldn't be.
I know that we all hear it from, on commercials and whatnot. We're all in this together. But don't let it become a cliche. It's true.
Because there are people who genuinely mean it.
And this is a worldwide thing. We are literally all in this together.
Yeah. Except for America's Samoa. But they're awesome.
It's just because they rock at the social distancing game.
They absolutely do. And they don't let anybody on the island. You shall not pass. I had to liven it up, guys. It was too sad.
Having a serious...
It was too sad.
Uplifting message there of,
Okay, don't let my stupidity ruin the uplifting message. Because it was all true. And at the end of the day, we gotta laugh. You gotta laugh. You gotta love. And you gotta go make omelets.
Make omelets.
Omelets are so important.
They're good.
So good. They are so versatile. You can do anything with them. It's so important.
He can't.
I can't.
He can't go. He can't.
I can't help it. That's
He can't
who I
help it.
am. That's...
So just, yeah. We are actually all in this together. Don't let this bring you down. And as always, we love you very much.
So much. Bye, guys. Like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe, comment, please. We love you very much.
We love you.
Air hugs. Have a good night or day or morning or whatever time of day you're watching this.